Let me go live. Let me go live. Let me go live. Let me go live. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan. Ah, damn it. Damn it. There's some little grains on that, man. I hate it so much. But this is about last night, ABLN. So, a lot of things happened. Bayern Munich lifted the UEFA Supercup. Thomas Muller, is he more than happy to lift that cup? Because he worked so hard for it. So, we're talking about everything that happened. And there's a few match facts in here, and there are a bunch of quotes from different people. I really want to implement this 24 hours after a game, just talking about what happened during the game, before and after the game, and all these other things, and some of the key players that played so well. So Hansi Flick, having his press conferences, we'll get to the press conference stuff right here. Let's talk about that. So pretty much, Flick was very satisfied with the performance. No, he wasn't. You just know he was absolutely scratching his head that we didn't score 10 goals by halftime. But about last night, Flick said Brazo and I agree on reinforcements. So basically, Hansi Flick and Hassan Salamans, the Pokemon, always evolving out here, pretty much agree that Bayern Munich need to strengthen. Maybe Flick didn't use his bench because of that reason. Because if he didn't, then I guess that would have made sense. Trying to prove to the board that, hey, we need some reinforcements. And he also mentioned the fact that we'll be playing games in a row. I mean, we only have a 10-day break in the winter time. So there is no 4-week break. You just go back to playing. It's pretty much just having a week off, pretty much. So Hansi Flick there agreeing that we need reinforcements. And I agree with him. I think we need a right back. Serginho Dest would be amazing. The Barcelona thing, I don't feel like that's done and dusted. I feel like if we paid Ajax the money and Ajax just got the money that they want, Barcelona can't do anything about that because they need to focus on other positions. So if we paid the money for Dest, the 25 million Ajax are demanding, you get Serginho Dest. And it's our fault. It's our fault for letting Barcelona get into this race for Serginho Dest. We had the deal agreed with the player, just paid the money, but instead we tried to save a few million, and then Barca came into the race. So I agree with Flick there. A right back for me would be amazing. Someone was saying maybe Flick kept Davies on the bench to, not lose any wingers so he could sub on Davies. Well, Davies got subbed on the left back for Lucas, which is ironic because we'll talk about Hernandez and some of the match facts and stats that he came out with. Incredible performance from him. But maybe that was why. Maybe Flick kept Davies on the bench just in case we had a winger out. I don't think Hansi Flick wants to use Thomas Muller at the right wing anymore, and I don't think Muller wants to play that position. So I'm happy that he said it. So a right back for me, I think we need 2 attackers. You're going into a season with 5 attackers for 4 positions, and you have 3 games every week. I mean, some people were saying let's sign Mario Götze without realizing that he would be starting games. This isn't a normal season. We're in unprecedented times. He would be starting because of the fact that we need to rest players. Let's say we focus so much on the league and the Champions League comes about and we have an injury to Asani, then all of a sudden you're starting Mario Götze as your left winger or something like that. So none of that for me. I agree we need reinforcements. He also said a key word there, quality. We need quality. So there we go. That's the first quote done. Oh, it's Kalin Drumanid's birthday. Happy birthday to a hero, a legend. My goodness, what a player. Man, if you watch the highlights, it's incredible. That's something you find on the hub. He's absolutely amazing. Kalin Drumanid is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. And I don't think a lot of people know that because the German media does such a poor job of reminding people of these greats. But Kalin Drumanid, happy birthday to him. A great director. He is the chairman of the board and sometimes gets criticism, but he's the reason the club is constantly at a certain height and has stayed there for so long. So happy birthday to Kalin Drumanid. Okay, there we go. We talked about the reinforcements things. Hansi Flick, my players went through to win. Okay, so he pretty much said the pain barrier, the first 25 minutes. I thought the first few minutes, we looked like we were about to score 10 goals because Sevilla didn't know the energy. We borrowed some energy from Leipzig, some Red Bull energy. We were running up and down the Bulls. And then we kind of slowed down because Sevilla got themselves into the game. The game chilled down. Then after 25 minutes, our players started moving the ball better, started getting through better, and that pain barrier slowly slowly but surely just reduce itself. So I was happy with the first just 25 minutes because it was hard. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be tough getting over that mental aspect of being favorites. Every game we played in the Champions League, people said, oh, Bayern will win, Bayern will win. It's hard because you know your favorites. You don't hide behind the, oh, we're just the underdogs. You can't hide behind that. You're favorites for the game. You have to win it. And I'm happy that we did win it in such a striking manner, just scoring a goal like that. I like these types of games. At the same time, I hate them. I don't like games where teams actually work hard and try to win too. Sevilla didn't stop fighting. So Flick there pretty much saying his players did what they had to do. They worked hard and they focused, especially with the pain barrier in the first 25 minutes. So I'm happy there that Hansi said that. Hansi Flick also said that Javi Martinez used Spanish voodoo and magic to play from Bilbao. Because remember, Christian Falk said Javi Martinez left Bayern Munich and he was a Bilbao player. He was going to be announced, but he traveled to Budapest with the team. So yeah, Javi Martinez using magic to be in two places at one time. I never want to lose Cali. Hopefully he stays till he's 80. Well, actually, is he renewing? Khan stepping into that position, or Hassan. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with Oliver Kahn. Well, Hassan's already part of the board, a key member of the board, actually. I don't know. There's an interesting, that's an interesting statement there, because if Karl-Heinz Rummenigge retires, which I think he will be, not because we're firing him no, they would genuinely put him back. But the thing is, I think he wants to retire and go, drink some margaritas in Italy or something like that. So that's what I assume is going to happen with that. So Javi Martinez coming off the bench. Manuel Neuer was happy with that because he also said when he saw Javi, Mr. Supercup, it was happening. So 8 years ago, he did it against Chelsea, scored in extra time to equalize the game. And now he does it again. And Bayern Munich become, what do you call that? Champions of Europe. So kings? Okay, Super Cup champions, I guess. Yeah, okay, so I guess Arshan saying Khan would replace Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. So happy birthday to Rummenigge. He's one of the greatest players to ever step foot at Bayern. 2 Ballon d'Ors. Did he win both at Bayern? No, he won in the 80s and then I think the season after, but he left to Inter Milan. So I think he won it consecutively. That's huge for Bayern. Did Kaiser even win that many? I think he only won 1, right? Right, man. A Ballon d'Or, I'm telling you, man. At the time, 10 million was a huge, huge transfer. I mean, imagine putting an extra 0 on there. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge is one of the greatest players. I'm happy, he's been part of our board. And people often criticize him for being frugal. And that's why I like him so much, because we're pretty similar people. I'm an incredibly cheap person. I don't buy that many clothes. I think I would get along with him if we were friends in real life. So I'm happy he's our executive chairman of the board. So happy birthday to him. Javi Martinez also had a quote. It was like 2013, he says, I always give my all. That's the thing you say about Javi. He gave his all. This guy could be injured and he'd be 100%. Just running around and giving everything. And that's what I love about Javi the most. That's his best trait, his ability to never give up. And I think, he is absolutely an icon at Bayern. Lucas will be one of the best center backs in the world next to Zula. Wow! Now that we're done with the quotes, I think what does everyone think about the quotes? I thought it was cool. Come on, I spent about an hour trying to set these up. I thought it was cool. Pretty much just quotes about what the players said and the manager. Hopefully this gets better over time and we can have some cooler things to look at, some cooler graphics, right? So I'm happy that we did this and this game was that good. But there were a few great performances. I thought Muller had a great game. Someone was pretty much saying Muller's passionate. I almost lost my mind. I stopped reading the comments from there. No, Thomas Muller was exceptional. He got the assist, pre-assist, whatever we call it. Look at the pass. With the outside of his foot, Lewandowski, touch, Goretzka, goal. Muller's cold. He's absolutely cold. I think he's one of the greatest footballers of all time. Seriously. This guy's level of consistency is up there with Ronaldo and Messi, man. people don't like to talk about it because Muller's, he's German. He's not as flashy on the eye. But Thomas Muller is on a different level, man. And I'm so happy we have him. And what he did in that game to just create space. I mean, that pass was amazing. That's a pass that if De Bruyne made that pass, people wouldn't shut up about it. So Thomas Muller makes it, and he's a horse guy. He likes to hang out around those horses, so he's not as cool, right? But seriously, he had a great game. I thought our center backs, out of the two, Jula had a very, very good game. I thought he was amazing. We'll talk about the two man of the matches. Javi Martinez is obviously, I guess, well, he'll get the hero card when I make the video about that, but I thought, we had some exceptional performances. Lucas Hernandez, man. This guy is just Sergio Ramos. He's just a regen of him with a left foot. Seriously, he plays like Ramos. He reminds me of Sergio Ramos. The way he tackles and the way he milks tackles. I love it, man. They say we're in a farmer's league. Well, we have a farmer. He milks tackles, Lucas. So I'm happy about that. All right, let's do this. Okay, look at these stats, man. Look at these stats from Lucas Hernandez. He played 99 minutes. It's not 99. It's more than that, but I don't know. It was probably like 105 minutes or something because Davies and Javi Martinez came on for him and Goretzka. Ironically, our two man of the matches got subbed off. Imagine that. So, for me, Lucas played so well. 99 minutes played, 4 clearances. He loves the Atletico Madrid clearance to just stomp it to the striker. We don't have that. We don't have a big old target. Well, Lewandowski, but Lewandowski wants to get assists these days. He doesn't really want to be a striker. Even the goal he scored, I was like, yes, finally. And then it got disallowed. Jeez. Okay. 6 tackles won. My goodness. For a left back, he won the most duels on the pitch as well. And the most aerial, or not the most aerial duels. He won 2 out of 3 aerial duels. He was absolutely amazing. And the thing is, they stopped going on Lucas's side. If you notice what Sevilla did, they were like, hell no, this isn't working. And they started using Ocampos more. And that's how they almost scored from that right-hand side. Because they were like, I don't want to go to Lucas's side. Because Lucas, first of all, has this incredible ability to keep stabbing opponents. But he rarely just clears them out. But he's always going for the ball. And that's his initial instinct, is to defend. So I thought Lucas was great. Davies is still better. Well, Davies is our best left back. Lucas Hernandez is a center back playing at left back. You can tell his instinct is to defend. That's why I'd say Hansi Flick said something about him not being, tactically ready for the system. I think I always said it, it's important to understand the manager's decision, but I don't know. I think Lucas needs to start at left center back in the next game. Davies at left back. Alaba had a horrendous game. He needs to be dropped. The contract issue as well. I'm sure Flick doesn't want that to be a thing. Maybe it's that. What if Alaba just feels like, oh, dang, and he's not giving it his all. I see. If you watch the Tottenham documentary, you can literally look at how and why Eriksen wasn't giving his all on the pitch. You can see why. You could look behind. You could just look at the BTS, the behind the scenes of what was happening at Tottenham, and then every result, you can see why it happened. And I think, maybe it's the same thing with Alaba. He just feels like, why do I need to try? I don't have a new contract. I don't know what my future is, and he's just. But that's just not a reason, right? I don't know. We'll see what happens with Alaba. Speaking of him, I don't know. Apparently, he's demanding a lot. He's demanding a lot of money. He shouldn't be on Lewandowski, Neuer, and Müller money. He's not that type of player. I mean, if we lose Alaba, we have Lucas Hernandez. He's easily replaceable. Not because he's terrible, but because we have so much quality in our squad. So he needs to look at that and then figure out if he wants to move. And if he wants to move, I mean, I wouldn't mind losing him for free. It's not like I'd cry, but yeah, I don't know why he's demanding these ludicrous. It's ludicrous. You can't be. It's a Tesla thing. You can't be demanding all that money. That's absolutely ludicrous. So Lucas had a great game. I thought he was the best fullback and defender on that pitch. He was everywhere, man. And every time they got on his side, they were scared to go through. Sevilla did not want to go through Lucas Hernandez because he just has the Atletico Madrid grit in him. Look how he cleared out Kimmich and their player. He just cleared them out. Didn't even get a yellow from it, but he cleared him out. He cleared him out. Okay. Guys, Jula is so overrated. Okay, Goretzka. Hurt my feelings, but Goretzka. I thought Leon Goretzka was again, all over the place. Leonardo da Vinci Goretzka. I'm telling you, people are seeing what I saw, man. Man, all these people are like, well, Goretzka ghost games. Goretzka does this. First of all, I will agree. Goretzka used to do this thing where, you know, if he wasn't scoring or on the edge of the box, you were like, oh, where's Leon? But now I feel like he's taking so much responsibility. He just took onus. He built himself. His muscle development was great. And guess what, man? Goretzka learned. He became better and stronger, physically and mentally. So I feel like in his game, he's just more complete now. He's dropping in between the center backs. You know, that was Kimmich or Thiago's job. He's doing it. He's like, I'm taking responsibility. You see that turn he did? That's the Thiago turn. He turned, drove and then passed it, and we got higher up the pitch. And we almost scored from that. He has so much confidence right now. And he's trying more long passes. I always said it. Goretzka has an amazing long pass. It's so sharp. Every single pass he makes, it's sharp. That's what I like about him. It's sharp. And once again, you're seeing what Goretzka has in his game. The confidence is starting to ooze. He's starting to try more things that people thought he couldn't do, but I always knew he could. His first touch is underrated. You know, most tall midfielders, their first touch takes them back to hell. I don't know. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Like N'Golo Kante. It's everywhere, like water covering the earth. But Goretzka's first touch, being that tall, shouldn't be that good. His first look at the goal he scored. If you watch, he's walking into the space. It's like he knew where to be, what time. Like, watch where Muller passes to Lewandowski. Goretzka's right next to Muller, by the way. Muller gets the ball. Goretzka's walking into the box, just jogging. And then he scores. That's intelligence. That's box-to-box intelligence. You know, I played box-to-box for like 2 seconds. I'm not the greatest because I don't like doing these I like being on the ball. I don't like doing these runs. I'm not a fan of the third man run. I hate him so much. I'm the guy who's going to pass the ball to the third man run. But I played box-to-box. It's so hard because you don't know what the hell you're doing. Because one, you're trying to make sure you're covering your team defensively. And two, you're trying to make sure you're covering your team offensively. You're being there. And then the pressing. Why do you think Hansi Flick, even Niko Kovac, even Barcelona, all these teams wanted Leon Goretzka because of his ability to not only score, defend well, but mainly the pressing, man. He doesn't get tired. This guy was coming off the pitch and I was like, why? He's not tired. You know, he has an incredible engine on him. And that's because box to box, I'm telling you, it's hard. It's hard, man. I think a Bayern move is the best for him. He can develop behind Pavard. Yeah, I think we should get Serginho Dest. And I'm sure everyone's talking about that. But I want to keep pushing this Goretzka propaganda. I'm feeling like a communist out here. I'm feeling like a dictator. Goretzka propaganda. Come on. I love this. I love the love Goretzka's getting. Because I knew this the whole time. You see, once we lose the ball, just look at where Goretzka is. He's always there, man. It's almost like he knows when we're going to lose the ball and he has to press. And then it's not him winning the ball. Look at the situation. Lucas Hernandez came up, won the ball. Who was right next to Lucas pressuring? Goretzka. He picked up the ball. That's Goretzka. It's always Goretzka. Come on. Okay, good. So happy. So happy. Okay, let's talk about Goretzka's stats. That's technically what I should be talking about. 99 minutes played. It wasn't 99 minutes. It was more than that, but SofaScore doesn't do it. 1 goal, 70 touches, 92% pass accuracy, 3 out of 4 long balls completed, 6 out of 9 duels won for a central midfielder. That's insane. That's insane. Those are CDM numbers, winning that many duels because you're constantly there. I think that combustion, that muscle that he's building, it's there. You can see it physically. 4 out of 9 aerial duels won. I thought, there were a few aerial duels that he should have won, but they weren't that big of a deal. Sometimes it was just a long ball from their keeper or something, and then he would just jump, and then he'd go back to us anyways. 2 tackles won, 2 interceptions. 4 tackles plus interception. Oh, come on. He hit Mike Dean, not Mike Dean. Lex Luthor, the referee, in the face. He hit him with a tackle. With the ball went pow and hit him in the face. And he lost his mind. That's how he kept giving us all these good decisions after that. Come on. Goretzka's amazing. Hernandez back. What? Hey, sometimes there are certain things you shouldn't be saying to me when I'm in a certain mood. Leave a like on the video, by the way. Let's get to 50 likes. That's going to be amazing. What exactly do you think are the best players that Bayern need? Well, let's get back to that. I mean, the player stats. Who else played better than expect? Lewandowski, I thought he played very well, even though he didn't score. The movement, they had 2 center backs on him at all times. Like 3 players sometimes would be around him. But Lewandowski's just pulling into different... Look at the run he made from Muller's pass and then just cut it back to Goretzka. That's central forward genius play right there. Goretzka's moving like that music thing. Genius. He's moving like lyrics. Just up, down. And he's great. So, yeah, Hansi Flick said we need reinforcements. I'm sure people are going to have their ideas of who we need to buy because they have different philosophies of how we should play. I'm not sure. You don't have to spam that. I read it. Yeah, Flick, for me, needs a right back. Serginho Dest would be amazing. You know what the most annoying thing about Serginho Dest is? We should have Serginho Dest by now. We should have him. But guess what we did? We agreed personal terms with him. He wanted to come to Bayern. And then we took forever trying to negotiate the price down. Barcelona decided to sell Semedo just so they could raise the money. And now we look like we look dumb. Because we look like we got played up. Because we shouldn't be letting things like this happen. They should not be happening to us, man. That's absolutely ludicrous. Tesla FC. We need Upamecano because Zula's not a... Nah. How dumb is that? He played so well yesterday. What are you talking? Nicolas Zula was our... come on. What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't make me block you because of this. You got... What do you mean? Bayern is far from okay right now. Barely beat Sevilla. I don't know if that you and I have the Flick said it that the pain barrier was. We won the game. That's what we. You can't win every game 8-0. I mean, I read a few comments and people were like, George, we didn't play that well. I get it. We didn't play that well, but that's fine. Sometimes you need these types of games because they help you get better. They help you that reality check. They help you, man. They help you like Doctor Strange and Dormammu. Shall we bargain? We have to do these. These types of games have to be there to strengthen us and to make sure we're kept on our toes. Because if you're not, staying on your toes, then, you just get to a point where maybe you're too something. So, I want to see some flair. Let's get a cheap Brazilian or Portuguese despacito. We already have, I would love this because he adds flair. I like flair. I think flair players always get criticized because people think of flair and they think of step overs, a billion of them. No, flair is just, you have different ideas in different situations. For example, I don't mean to, people say I have an agenda, but what did Pavard do for us yesterday in attacking wise? He had so many opportunities, and that's one thing I criticize about his game. The risk taking. As a fullback, in a game where the other team is very, very defensive, they had 9 men behind the ball at times, especially in that second half and above, going into extra time. Sometimes just open your body and dribble forward. He did it one time, I remember, and it opened up space. Once you trap 3 players next to you, therefore, someone else is free. So I agree with the flair statement. That's why I love Serginho Dest, because in a game like that, where they're going to sit back after pressing for 45 minutes, they're going to start reserving their press. You need someone that just opens up space, and Dest does it so well. One touch, one player's out of the game, and then all of a sudden we're, attacking their back line directly. So I agree with that. I agree. I've been telling people Goretzka's world class 4 years ago. Well, 4 years ago he wasn't world class. he wasn't world class 4 years ago. he was a promising midfielder. You know, he was one of Schalke's best players, yeah, but he wasn't world class like he is now. I think Goretzka is the best box to box midfielder in the world. People are starting to see it. You know, it's very hard to be a box to. I don't know if people understand. You think Thiago wants to make third man runs? You think Kimmich wants to make third man runs into the box? It's hard because third man runs are dangerous when you could get the ball because you'd shoot. Look at the goal he scored. Muller just lays it off, but he arrives there. He's there. Like he's always at the edge, and not just the edge. Sometimes Goretzka is our striker and Lewandowski's on the edge, so he has to run up all the way to be a striker. It's hard to be a box-to-box. People need to start appreciating that position even more now. Is Dest transfer still on? Well, as long as he's not a Barcelona player and he's not announced, then it's still on. I think Fabrizio Romano tweeted about Serginho Dest, pretty much saying, you know, Barcelona are confident that they could get the deal done. It's annoying. It's really annoying because I'm just thinking about our strategy going into the negotiations with Ajax. We were in Amsterdam. If we didn't agree personal terms with Serginho Dest, why would we in Amsterdam negotiating with Ajax? That's telling me that there was a point where we offered money, made a bid, Ajax said no, and we were trying to reduce the price. 25 million for Serginho Dest, for me, is a steal. That's a steal. Because then guess what? If you don't get Dest, Max Aarons, especially, you know, you're negotiating with Norwich. You know, they have a player on with a 3-year contract. They're trying to get promoted back into the Premier League. They're probably going to get promoted again and probably get relegated again. But their ambition is to get promoted and at least stay in the Premier League. So they're not going to sell for cheap their best, you know, fullback or their best player technically. I think he's one of their best players, but they're not going to do that. So I think it's going to be harder to get Aarons than it is to get Dest. Apparently, Norwich turned down inquiries from Barcelona for 20 million. So it's only about money. Oh, it is. I saw a tweet saying we are 61% in favor of getting Dest. Where did you see that? Because I want to see that tweet too, so I can be a little bit more deluded. I need to be more deluded, thinking we'll get him. I'm gonna keep my mind my mouth shut because Bayern are very weird sometimes. You'll think, oh yeah, this is definitely happening. You know, this is definitely happening, man. And then it doesn't. I don't know. I'm sure. For me, I just, you know, I'm right. I'm not right. What was I saying? But I just have to focus. I'm not gonna think about Dest. If he joins Bayern, he joins Bayern, and if he doesn't, he doesn't. We have to, though. I've gotten repetitive. Well, I mean, this is a whole new concept, so that's definitely new. Invest. You don't have to, you know, spam that. Flex your muscles. I won't be in 45 minutes when I'm absolutely getting torn apart by these exercises. Dest is way better than Aarons in my opinion. He wasn't that great last season, and Dest will probably be a little cheaper. Hope we can get him. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. I have nothing to say. Nothing to say. I have absolutely nothing to say. I won't be saying anything. N'Golo Kante to Bayern. Why would you want Kante at Bayern? He's finished. Actually, he's not like that. You know what I mean. He wouldn't fit us. He wouldn't fit us at all. Kante's a destroyer. We don't play with a destroyer. I had this idea in my head, maybe in lockdown, that we'll play a 4-3-3 once Muller, you know, retires. And I think we could. But I don't know. I just think what would we gain from playing a 4-3-3, just changing your system? Unless Flick wants to, of course, then that makes sense. But I don't know. And Kante wouldn't work for us. He's a defensive-minded CDM, a counter-attacking CDM. He plays so well for France and played so well for Antonio Conte because of the fact that they were a defensive team. But in a possession-based team, he wouldn't work because he's not a possession-based CDM. He's not a pass the ball. You know, Kimmich is. Kimmich gets the ball, pops it to the other side, moves the ball. Goretzka in a similar way, just except he's a box-to-box, covering all these spaces, but making sure keeping the ball. So I don't think Kante would work. I think certain players just can't work in certain systems. Kante to replace Javi. Javi Martinez is more of a possession-based player than Kante ever was. Ricky Puig with that Supercup money. Well, the kid, funny. Oh my goodness. Imagine ruining your career this much because you love Barcelona for some reason. He's not even in the Barcelona first team. He's getting a number, some number for, being. He's getting a B team number. Come on, you have to be an idiot to want to stay at Barcelona after they're not even giving you they're giving you a B team number. Ronald Koeman is an absolute ruthless guy. How can you do that? But Ricky Puig, apparently Bayern called him and he said no, and that's his fault. I mean, once his career's over, then you do that. Puig go to Bayern, he would fit us perfect. Yeah, we'd make him buff as the Barca fans want. I think Puig is overhyped. Just because a player is getting a lot of attention does not mean they're overhyped. I think people just love saying, "Oh, well, he's overhyped," or like Alphonso Davies. I'm starting to read things like, "Oh, Alphonso Davies is absolutely overrated because all these people are giving him all this attention. Is slowly becoming overrated." No, he's getting deserved attention he should be getting. And I think that's it. That's how I see the situation. I need to prepare for this gym class. I'm gonna look strong and powerful. I need to make a new playlist as well for these. Is Lewandowski a Bayern legend now? Yes. Yes. I think. Yes. I mean, should I say yes? Yes, he is. Not as big as... yes. He's a Bayern legend. Draxler. Hey, let me... No, let me get what do you want us... some of you want us in the Europa League. You deserve Europe. Do you actually genuinely want Draxler at Bayern? Paris Saint-Germain got beaten by Bayern Munich in 2020, a month ago, in the Champions League final as we lifted it. And you want us to sign a player they don't even want. It's not that Draxler isn't getting the chance. He's being coached by Tuchel. Tuchel brought him to PSG so he could be the superstar. They paid a lot of money for him. Draxler is crap. He isn't good. Why do you want him at Bayern? Is he better than what we had last season? No, he's not better than Coutinho or Perisic. We should be looking for the player that... Yeah, you know what... someone said Hudson-Odoi, Milot Rashica. These are players that are better than Draxler. Florian Coman. Well, let's not get anyone with the name Coman in it, because I have an agenda, I guess. Chukwueze, there you go. Someone like that. Someone that's better than Draxler. Yeah, that's it. You can't tell me we need Julian Draxler or Mario Götze. Dortmund don't even want Mario Götze. Why do we want Mario? Because there's this impossible idea that we'll turn him into prime Jesus and he'll just walk the waters. Yeah, get someone like Kingsley Goatman. Goatman. I really have an anti-Coman agenda. Don't worry, guys. I never hate Coman. I just love him. Hey, let me just clear it up. Why do people think criticizing players means you automatically hate them? If you criticize something, no one's... I would criticize Lewandowski if he had a crap game. Alaba. I absolutely love David Alaba. But yesterday, he was crap. And that's why I criticized him. I think it's normal. If you don't criticize players, that's like your kid doing something really bad in school. And then you won't smack them up because they're your kid. You have to criticize players. You have to get... where it's wrong is where you're just criticizing them despite them playing well. Lewandowski played well yesterday. Oh, that's not what I meant. I mean, if Lewandowski plays bad, I'll criticize him. And that's rarely, never. I never criticize because he doesn't play bad. But you know what? I criticize Coman because he doesn't impress me as much as a good... Alright, I don't need to be sitting here explaining myself. You all know what I think about Coman. He can't make a decision to save his life. Sula played bad. You're getting hidden the next time I hear Sula coming out of your mouth. Don't disrespect Nicolas. Take your Zula like that. You're absolutely trying to piss me off. Trying to say Nicolas Zula. He's our best defender. Leave a like on the. I'm actually getting annoyed and triggered by Nicolas Zula. Come on, tell me one thing he didn't. Don't. Nicolas Zula. Look at the tackle he made. Just intercepted the ball. Yeah, fine. The ball kind of moved away, but then he got back, and that was the only thing he had. And what, you're gonna tell me Luke De Jong? Don't come on, Mr. Lisbon. That's Mr. Wembley, Mr. Supercup. Those are the only misters that mean something to me. Mr. Lisbon, he didn't even play in Lisbon. The final was just it was just luck that he got into the team. Perisic would have, if we had Perisic started, we would have scored 10 goals. I'm convinced. Like, Mr. Wembley ripped the show. Come on, didn't rip the show. He got pocketed by Kerr and made one dribble past him. Come on, man. Don't ruin me. Don't ruin me. Mr. Lisbon. Alright. Thank you, everyone. Leave a like on the video. Send me in peace.